Hello and welcome guys to my channel Do It Pi Way. So we will be using this channel to learn about various ways we can use Python and Python, as you know, is a programming language which is used in a lot of different fields. So we will be learning about decorators today, and decorators are like nothing but a powerful and flexible tool that will allow us to modify the behavior of the functions or the methods. So here I created a file, introduction to decorators.py file in my VS Code, and as you know, we will be like creating decorators. So we are defining like a function called as greetings in English over here. So what we are basically trying to do is create an wrapper over the functionality that we are using right here. So let's say I have two more such functions called let's say greetings in Spanish or greetings in Japanese. So we'll have those. So the value pass is nothing but like a placeholder value, so that our function does not give us like a incorrect syntax. So yeah, what we want to do is we want to have like a common functionality on top of these three functions that we created. So let's say in this function I print that we say hello in United States, and similarly the different ways we greet in different regions. So let's say we say hola in Spanish, so this is the way we greet in Spain. So I have those print statements here, and of how we say hello in Japanese or in Japan. So we say konnichiwa in Japanese. So we have that. Now on top of these functions, we want to have a common functionality. So we use decorators for that, so that we will have code reusability, separation of code, and have like a more enhanced readability, and have the dry principles implemented. So I'll create a decorator called as my decorator here, and what this decorator does is it takes these functions as an argument. So now we will have a wrapper function. So the code that we want to wrap around our individual functions will be defined in this wrapper function. And so we will have some print statements on top of our other print statements. So we need to return this wrapper function as an output of our decorator. And we will be printing certain statements and utilizing the function that we passed, so that our print statements in our wrapper are around the print statements of the greetings functions that we created. So we will call the function here, and now an end print statement that that states about something about the language. So let me write, we have a beautiful language. Okay, so now once our decorator is ready to use it around our functions, we will use the @ character along with the decorator name, which is my underscore decorator in our case. So once we have this decorator around our functions, when we make the function call, a wrapper function of the my decorator function will wrap around the print statements inside our greetings function. So as you can see, I'll be calling all of these greeting functions, and which is like the greetings in Japanese, greetings in English, greetings in Spanish. And when we run the code, we will see how those output turn out. So let me hit the run button. Yeah, so as we can see, we are having the output, the print statements that we defined in the wrapper class. And yeah, I'm just putting a slash in, which is like a new line character, so the output is a little more readable. So yeah, as you can see here, we have our print statements, which is coming out as this is how we greet in, and then the print statement that we defined in those individual greeting functions, and then the second print statement of our wrapper. Yeah, so fixed up greet type over there. And yeah, so this is basically how the decorators work. So now let's say if you want to pass an argument from while calling the function into your decorator. So how do we do that? Let's say we want to pass a language value, let's say English, Spanish, or Japanese, into our decorator function. So let's learn how we can do that now. So let's say we will send that, okay, greetings in Japanese. So let's make our language over here as Japanese, and then we will pass the language as English in our English function call. And lastly, we will pass the language parameter as Spanish in our greetings in Spanish function. So I'm using the language and as the variable value that I'll be sending into my function, and I'm defining it as a string value. That means that the variable we are passing should be of type string. So now, since we want to pass this to the decorator, we would need to return this variable so that our decorator function can take it as a parameter and utilize it in its wrapper function. So now, what we need to update in the wrapper function is we need to mention star args and star keyword args. Basically, it means arguments and keyword arguments. So any number of arguments and keyword arguments we would be passing in our wrapper function. So here in this case, we need to also mention this in our func on line number 5, and make sure we add it to a variable value, or let's say lang, which we will then use to have a customized variable value in our print statement following line number 5. So let's say we want to say that Japanese is a beautiful language, or Spanish is a beautiful language. So we will do that using the f string, and we will mention the lang variable inside. And also we need to return this lang variable as well in our wrapper function so that it can be utilized in our my decorator. And now we run the code to see the output of how it turns out when we send parameter values to it. So yeah, as you can see over here, we have sent the parameter Japanese in our greeting in Japanese. So we see that Japanese has turned out there, and so has the English and Spanish. So yeah, that's it. That's how we are able to send the variable values as well from our calling function into our decorators, and then use those decorators to wrap around our function that we created for each specific greeting. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I hope that we will be able to learn more about decorators in the future video. I will try to teach you 2 more ways how we can use the decorators.